Hello, you fuckheads and retards, and welcome to another edition of my exciting show. This show is called News of the Day, and that's when I take stories that are running through the news cycle and add a biblical spin to them. All right, so let's get started, shall we? First story. The biggest news, of course, is that Senile Joe Biden has decided to drop out of the race. He will not face off against Orange Donald to become the leader of the free world. He's bowing out. And I gotta tell you people something. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely flabbergasted because that Joe Biden, no matter what you say about him, that's a stubborn old son of a bitch. And he had said, I'm not leaving. And plus there's animosity between him and the Clintons and the Obamas. You know, it's an unstable relationship. He was always the guy at the little kids table when it came to those families. And the idea that Obama could come and say, look, you got to go, Joe. And for Joe to listen, I'm flabbergasted. Which leads me to believe, and I could be wrong, I'm just some screwhead like the rest of you freaks watching this video. Trust me. I have no special knowledge. I just have my intuition. I think that they had something on him. They said, look, Joe, you have to go. We're trying to do it the nice way, but if you don't want to do it the nice way, well, look what we have here, and we're going to release this information. In other words, a smear campaign. That's one of the things, or it could be the opposite, where they say, hey, maybe we could set you up with a nice big fat book deal, or maybe we'll build a library in your name, or something along those lines. But I just couldn't see that stubborn old son of a bitch leaving. And plus he really isn't that far behind the polls, which says something about the American people, right? You got a guy who couldn't break a 70 on an IQ test in a million years. On his best day, he couldn't break a 70, but half the country still wants to vote for him. I don't know what that says about Americans, but it definitely says something. I often joke around about the 2016 election, where people will say, was it rigged or was it not rigged? And I always, in my heart, I think to myself, I hope that election was rigged. Because if that old goat actually got 81 million votes, then what hope do we have? We are literally screwed for an old goat like that to have to be able to become the president of America. Anyway, don't let the doorknob hit you on the way out, you old motherfucker. I should say that. He is the president, but he is an old motherfucker. So who's the new motherfucker coming in? Well, people say it's going to be Kamala. She's one of those ones where if you say her name Kamala, she'll say, my name's not Kamala, it's Kamala. And if you say, hello, Kamala, she'll say, my name's not Kamala, it's Kamala. So you can never win. Anyway, that's who greasy old Joe is endorsing. He's saying, let's give it to Kamala. And I'm going to tell you, I would be very surprised if she gets the nomination, because I remember her back in 2019 when when she first came out of the gate. She had a ton of money. She had a war chest. Everyone said, oh, she's the next person up. She's going to smoke all these contenders and pretenders, right? And you want to know something? Everybody hated her. Well, the American people couldn't stand her. There's something about her which emits this foul odor, And she got less than 1% of the vote, and she dropped out before any of the primaries happened, right? Nobody wanted her, She's done, even black people, even though she's half black, they didn't like her because she put so many black folk in prison in California for smoking dope, right? She was a real hard-nosed prosecutor, and she didn't fool around with petty marijuana charges. A lot of people ended up serving time, and plus her reputation about her relationship with Willie Brown and how she climbed the ladder and whatnot. I'm not going to get into that, but I'm just saying she rubs people the wrong way. There's something about her. You look at her and you say, ugh, ugh. You know? I don't think she's going to get the nomination, but who else wants the job? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But you know, it's funny because I was watching. Let me check the time. Okay, I'm at 6 minutes. I got 4. I try not to make these videos more than 10 minutes. Let me tell you, I was watching Fox News with this Sean Hannity, and he's like, Kamala deceived the people. She gaslighted Americans by pretending that Joe was normal. And I'm thinking to myself, well, look, we could all see what a fucking mess he was back in 2019. So the only person that was gaslit are people who are gaslighting themselves, right? I can't put that on Kamala. So, you know, I said this in another video, but I just want to say it one more time. You know, I think it was after he just won the election. And you could tell poor old Joe is as stiff as a board, and they got him in a suit, and he's, you know how he walks, he's stiff, he can barely move. He's got this big chocolate chip ice cream cone. And the reporters say, hey, what's on the agenda for today, Mr. President? And he looks at him. I like chocolate chip ice cream. And they all, it was such a moment of retardation, but they're all like cheering him. Yeah, he likes chocolate chip ice cream. Good job, Joe. You're funny. And with those stupid aviator glasses, it was disgusting. But you know, so my point is, I can't accuse Kamala of gaslighting the American people because you know, we all saw him. He's wandering off, or he's, you know, or that Juneteenth festival, and he's just staring into space. So yeah, I can't get her for that. Last up, because we're almost at 8 minutes. Thomas Crooks' school is fired back on some misinformation. They're saying, you know, he wasn't bullied. He had friends. He had a group of 4 or 5 friends. He wasn't bullied. Secondly, he never tried to join the shooting team. The teacher who's the head of the shooting team says he never applied. He never applied for the shooting team. That's more disinformation, right? Making him out to be like a bad shooter who can't hit the side of a barn. Disinformation. And then what else did the school say? Nice boy, very polite, very smart. And he never caused any discipline problems, nor was he bullied. No one ever caused problems with him. They never threatened to beat him up or anything like that. This kid, I don't know if patsy's the right word. I would say he's a kid who is groomed. You know, maybe he sort of like what the FBI did to the guys who were kidnappers of Whitmer, right? Somebody groomed this kid, and that gun was on top of that building. And we'll never find out the truth. You can forget that. Just like we never found out the truth about Kennedy. Because I'm going to tell you why. We don't actually have a press in this country. We don't have real genuine reporters. All we have are political activists who choose this side or that side. You're either with Sean Hannity or you're with Jake Tapper or Joy Reid, right? There's no real journalists. And if you happen to be a real journalist like Julian Assange, a man who never got a single story wrong, if you're a real journalist, guess what? They put you in prison for 10 years. and make you plead guilty if you want your freedom. And then you end up a broken man living with your parents in Australia. That's how it goes. It's a bunch of bullshit. But don't worry. You want to know why? Because the FBI is on the case. They're going to get to the bottom of this. The FBI. Fucking ball-busting idiots, right? That's what it stands for. Fucking ball-busting idiots. They're probably the ones who set the whole deal up. It's like the wolves or the foxes guarding the hen house, right? It's all a bunch of bullshit. Anyway, that's my time over. And let's put a biblical slant real quick. I will say this. I'll say that none of this stuff is going to have any effect on the kingdom of heaven. So before you get all worked up and angry and whatnot, understand that this is on our earth. But it has no effect on your real destination. All right? So take it with a grain of salt and understand that we live in a fallen world and these things are going to happen. Corruption. All right. If you like this, subscribe. No, if you like this, press like. And if you want to subscribe, become a member, press subscribe. I'm up to 57, which I guess is not great, but it's not bad. Anyway, God bless you. Bye-bye.